let's put all of our rational function ideas together. So we need to find the domain in interval notation for our function. Start by finding our restricted values. Take denominator equal to 0. We get x equal to 8. This guy is our restricted value. Setting up our domain, negative infinity on the left, positive infinity on the right. 8 is the only restricted value we have, and we cannot be 8. So then our domain, starting with the first part, we have negative infinity to 8 with the parenthesis, union for the jump rope, the u, and then we have 8 to infinity. For vertical asymptotes, we look at our function. We can't factor, so there's no simplification. Our vertical asymptote, we take our simplified denominator, simplified because we couldn't cancel anything, set it equal to 0. We find that x equal to 8 is our vertical asymptote. Notice that every restricted value we find is either going to be a whole or a vertical asymptote. It cannot be both, but the restricted value will be one of those two. Here, for the whole, we didn't cancel, which means there are no holes. For our horizontal asymptote, remember we look at the degree of the numerator, which in this case, standard form polynomial has degree 1 up top. And in the denominator, we have it equal to 1. And since they are the same, we are going to have a horizontal asymptote of y equal to a over b. The leading coefficient of the numerator is 7. The leading coefficient of the denominator is 1, which means that we have y equal to 7 as our horizontal asymptote. Next, we're asked to find our y-intercept. Okay, our y-intercept is where we plug in x equal to 0. You may also see it as f of 0. This means that we would have 7 times 0 plus 11 all over 0 minus 8. Up top, 7 times 0 is 0, plus 11 gets us 11, and 0 minus 8 is negative 8. And we don't like the negatives in the denominator, so either bring it out front or up top, and we have negative 11/8. As an ordered pair, we plugged in 0 for x, and we got out negative 11 over 8. So there's our y-intercept. For our x-intercept, we need to take our f of x and replace it with 0. So we plug in y equal to 0. Or you could say set equal to 0. So we would have 7x plus 11 all over x minus 8 equal to 0. But we really only need the numerator because we could multiply both sides by this x minus 8 and it would go away. So When you're asked to find your x-intercept, take your numerator, set it equal to 0, move our 11 over by subtracting, and when we divide by 7, we get x is equal to negative 11 sevenths. That means the ordered pair we found is negative 11 sevenths. That was our x value, comma, 0, because we plugged 0 in for y.